If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
For some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From the BetMGM Sportsbook at the beautiful Beau Rivage in Biloxi. Welcome to Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro. Gordon Kitchens back in the studio. Carl Johnson, Sportsbook Manager here. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Day 1 was fantastic, always is. The headliner out of the state of Louisiana, the McNeese Cowboys' first win in program history in the NCAA tournament. Built a big lead, shocked Clemson right out of their orange stripes yesterday with that zone that produced a near record-setting first half defensively, and they held on for the 69-67 win. That was the headliner, but it was wall-to-wall basketball. Fantastic day, and we're getting ready to tip it off and go all over again.
You know, it's a festive day. It's a big day when, you know, he likes to do some down-home cooking. He likes to, you know, spoil that little grandkid with, you know, and cherry pick my Halloween treats that I bring over here and with the Hot Wheels and things like that. But when you know it's Jick Jack GQ, GQ Jick Jack with the Canali blazer. I mean, he tried to play it off that he was a little chilly yesterday. No. He came dressed for success. Man, my man looked sharp, huh?
Man, let me just say this. I do not, anybody that knows me knows this. I do not own a tie or a dress shirt. I don't have one. I was cold yesterday. The jacket that I had was too heavy, and you know I usually wear this for spots that I have to do with media for big events like this. But that's it. That's all I got,
baby. The McNeese. Well, you call it McNeese now in the McNeese State? Is it? Have we dropped the state? What is this?
Okay,
because I heard a national broadcaster even bring up the same thing. Are we just dropping the state now?
Troy Macker, who we have on, he and I interacted on Twitter. I said, you know, most people in Louisiana refer to them as, at least that I've heard, refer to them as McNeese. Yeah. If you refer to them as McNeese State, no problem.
I've heard them referred to. I've always called them McNeese State.
Okay, and I've heard both. It's the same thing with Nichols. You know, some people said Nichols, some people said Nichols State. So I didn't think it was a big deal.
I've always said Nichols State. But you want to look on the official. We these things count, right?
Huh? I just say, how about them boys from the Bayou?
The Pokes, baby.
That's it.
The Pokes.
I mean, I was
Willie
so
Wade
happy.
gave him, at the interview after he went into the crowd. What a great scene that was, minus a few LSU officials. But I mean, it was. So here we go. I've got the BetMGM has McNeese State. I look at a competing sports book. They have it listed as McNeese. Yeah. So, tomato. Anyway, one thing we know, another name that draws polarizing or different viewpoints is Willie Wade. Damn, they look distracted, Charlie. Wow. And that's one we did get right. You know, when Kenny White brought it up, what is he doing taking his job? I was like, well, I think he's got a pretty healthy locker room. We're closer to the situation. I saw the interaction when they secured that automatic bid in the Southland tournament. I mean, I don't think that's phony. the embraces between him and his team, and his they played hard. We were right about that. They were not going to be wide-eyed again. That game, that last year, that laid egg against Gonzaga last year, that was on their mind for a year. And win, lose, or draw, they got after it. And they bullied. They bullied Clemson, kind of beat them up, and just Clemson did not know what hit them.
They didn't. And what's Will Wade's biggest attribute? Great recruiter, enthusiasm, motivator, all that stuff. What's the biggest, the detractors of him, the biggest criticism of him? Not the best bench coach. How about this? They pulled that 2-3 zone out yesterday for the first time all year. Shocked the hell out of Clemson. Hadn't seen it. They put it in conference tournament week, but they didn't use it in the Southland tournament. And Clemson shot 21% in the first half from the floor. That is the third lowest in the shot clock era for a half of NCAA basketball. Wow. So you want to talk? You want X and O a little bit? This guy pulled a zone out of his pocket for the NCAA tournament and blew those guys off the floor. Well,
there's a bunch of layers in bench coaching, okay? And it's scouting report, and I think his scouting reports are pretty good. I think the weakness of Will on the bench is just offensive, trying to create easy scoring opportunities out of motion, your ball movement, and spacing and things like that. A little bit too dependent on ISO for me, for a guy to beat his man. But he does identify roles. He does get players to fit in for their roles, even though it might not be the best way to showcase their skills for the next level. Now, we saw that more with LSU because LSU had more pros than maybe McNeese State does, okay? But he also, Charlie, one thing about, do they not play hard on defense? Do they not rebound?
Yes.
Are they going to just show that athleticism and toughness? And it was a kind of a knock on their team this year that they weren't had as much dog in them. On paper, they were supposed to be more talented, but this team, and then I saw them come out in the Southland when it's on now in the semifinals. They were getting after people, and they certainly got after Clemson yesterday, even when a zone could be sort of passive.
Yeah, he's a better coach now than he was. He has improved as a coach. Okay, at the beginning of his LSU tenure, there were some cracks in the defense, especially in the Cam Thomas year. They weren't very good defensively. He's a better defensive coach now. He's a better offense. He's improving as a coach. Okay,
well.
And all the other stuff comes with it, and he is getting better on the bench.
I still, I'm not crazy about some of their offensive sets, and even yesterday, they're like, man, that's a bad possession. They have some of those. They have a little Houston in them. They can have some ugly possessions, but the thing is that he's going to win. Yeah. He's going to win. He's got his roster set for Raleigh already. He would have had his roster set for Baton Rouge next year if they wanted to go that route. A little late by the board and a little poor leadership, in important positions. But the thing that blows me away, Charlie, now he's all of a sudden he's improved his morality. He's improved his class. Winning. There is a completely different tone listening last night and today when they talk about Willie Wade. It is unbelievable how big a win in this tournament it just shapes people's opinions. It influences them. The same guys that taking shots like a week ago, calling him pond scum and this and that. Got to give it to Willie Wade, man. He's a winner. It is a flip, Jack.
When I saw Pat Forty, with everything you just said.
I didn't see his stuff.
You just said it. You didn't even have to read it.
Okay? Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's like, boy, you sure have changed your opinion on all of this stuff.
It's the winning. And in this tournament, it's fair or unfair, but it is major. And the other thing is, it happened on a day where there were no upsets. There were we had one great game after that, but this was the biggest seed upset. That's pretty much. Yeah, you had one other one, but it was light on sort of the Cinderellas, the mid majors doing it. And here's the guy who's, taking his third team to the NCAA tournament. and he's going to have a good shot at taking them next year in Raleigh as well. So we will see. But Carly, bet you McNeese State, McNeese, the Cowboy, the Pokes. Did they bet him yesterday?
Yeah, they did. They've been getting a lot of love, and I'm glad the boys from the Bayou come through.
Yeah. Yep. So what about the Charlie Decine when he goes up in the stands? Because they're saying, and this is what we know, they appreciate him. You know what the excitement he's brought.
Right.
You know, he talked about the numbers, enrollments. It's not like Nick Saban's influence on the University of Alabama's applications, but it's up. They're up. They know where they are. You know, and so it's just kind of they knew they had him for 2 years max. They just asked him, just don't leave us after 1 year for a lateral move. Another. If you get a Power 5, we understand, but don't leave us after one for a lateral move. And they had to come back and make a little feudal offer, but they can't compete, you know, with the Power 5 schools and what they have. But it was just, that was fun, man, to see those people. They were excited, man. They were rocking Providence last night.
It was great yesterday. I liked the scene, especially at the Southland tournament, which was played on their home floor, because you had the crowd chanting one more year, which, like you said, they all knew.
They were chanting one more year for Cooper Flagg, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
but with coaches, you don't see this very often.
No, you don't.
But for him to be able to pull this off, to say, yes, I'm coming, I'm only going to be here for a short period of time, it's like, well, what if you don't win? I'm going to win. What if you don't get up? I'm going to get another offer, but I'm going to give you guys this much. And then I'm going to say, before the game, I'm taking the NC State job. I'm not going to get up and BS you in this locker room and go, we're all McNeese, I'm all McNeese, I'm all McNeese, and then after the game, I'm going to, going to Tobacco Road. Christian Shoemate yesterday said this after the game. He said, when you're in the loop and both ends are transparent about things, there's no room for conflict. There's a clear understanding. And then we worry about all that other stuff later, and we focus on winning the games. If you get your players to buy in that when you're leaving.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
That's a hell of a
job. He's the glue. Okay, so here's the kid. This is not one of Will's guys he brought over. This was an existing McNeese State player, okay? And he's the one that is kind of he's not real skilled, okay? But, man, he will get after you. Man, to put back, he's athletic. And he's kind of, this roster's more like Will's VCU Havoc type of roster, you know? But Shoemate's the guy. He is the glue, and he's their leader. He's their captain.
13 and 11 yesterday.
What's that?
He hit 13 and 11 yesterday, so double.
What was Will Wade's conference record?
40 and 2.
Carl,
I'll remember
that's
that
like
number.
Candy's picks, huh? 40 and 2. Huh?
I remember my locker combination from 12th grade and Will Wade's conference record, okay?
What was your locker combination?
38, 42, 21. Something stick with you. If you left your locker unlocked in the football locker room, you had to run. I remember that damn number till the day I died.
Carl, did the public win, or what were the big winners for the house, and what were the big winners for the public yesterday?
Weird day here yesterday. You guys seen the traffic. We had good traffic. We had a good ticket count. Our handle was down a little bit. So, I mean, we kind of seen exactly what we seen for the Super Bowl. High ticket count, low handle, and a good hold. And that's what happened yesterday. I mean, yesterday we didn't have anything that really stuck out as far as helping us or hurting us. It was just kind of a grinded out day, and we had a good day.
Good. Any significant action today?
A little bit, but pretty much of the same as we had yesterday. I got a few teams that we need.
Okay.
So we're going to need Duke.
Really?
So, yeah, they're taking the 32.5 here. We're going to need Norfolk, which is surprisingly. So looks like they're taking the points there at 28.5. We need UConn. They're favored over Oklahoma by 5.5. Bryant would be good for us. They're taking they're laying the 17.5 there. And then Alabama's moved from 22.5 to 21.5.
I see that.
So that tells you that they're taking the points there with Robert Morris. And I've even heard, I think Alabama controls the game, but I've even heard people playing Robert Morris money line here. So whatever for whatever reason, but.
We did see some eruptions at 15 from time to time, so those were pretty popular again.
Absolutely.
Are they kind of staying the same every year? Are they picking up? Are they increasing?
That market increases every year.
Okay.
It's very popular, and you can, it gives. Look, some people can't sit around and watch the whole game. It's like a baseball bet. You're betting 5 innings, you got to go. So I mean, it's a good way to play it. Race to 15, baby.
All right, and also the first half unders, was that a popular? That was kind of a wash. Tell you what, if you had them like me, kind of lucky it was pretty much a wash because the ones that I won were really close, and the ones that I lost were they were over like with 8 minutes to go in a half.
Did you land 8 and 8?
I didn't bet them all, but I got it. I went 500. It was like 6 and 6,
and I think they were 8 and 8 for the day, Carl. Depending on where you got them.
I have to ask, Alabama State. Did they bet Alabama State against what's the name yesterday? The number
Auburn.
Auburn.
No, they bet us. They bet us Auburn.
Okay, we're in Auburn country.
Yeah.
Because there was your partner from the Brigada, Thomas Gable.
Yeah.
They were betting them, and he also talked about how. Man, they're loving these first 4 teams. They're all over North Carolina. Are they North Carolina today? Yeah. So maybe they're also, Xavier. Are they on Xavier?
Let's see. In that game, where are we at here? We need Xavier.
So they're betting. Okay. They're betting again.
Yeah. That number went from 3.5 to 4.5.
Okay. So I was wondering why Mount St. Mary's, of course, is a play-in team as well.
Yeah.
So. I'm on the Rebels, man. I'm on, here in Mississippi too.
Yeah.
They're betting North Carolina that big.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Randy McKay, blistering day yesterday. Really, really good. His first halves went 9 and 1.
Wow.
But he was just popping away. I do have his picks. He does not have a pick on the first game here with Baylor and Mississippi State. Any significant action on this one that's about to go, Carl?
No, pretty. We got good 2A action here. Still, that line's been stagnant. It's Mississippi State minus 1.5, 144.5.
Okay, all right. So Mississippi, Big Ten 4-0 against the spread last night. Charlie, did you see the call or the non-call late? UC San Diego.
Yeah, we watched all the way to the end. It actually fell the way we wanted it to.
You had Michigan.
Had Michigan on the money line, and they ended up covered. If you got
okay,
it
so you might have thought it was no big deal, but the guy with about 30 seconds to go, down 1, goes to the goal. He gets knocked to the floor. No call. So instead of shooting 2 free throws, 1 possession game, coming down to the last shot, you forced a foul. They make 2 free throws. You miss. No, thanks for shopping. I mean, it was. I thought
it wasn't the only one. Max and I were standing next to each other, and I've got Michigan, and I have to actually acquiesce and say, no, they're getting hosed. The Tritons are getting hosed on these calls. And when Tate Jones had to go out of the game, he fouled out with 5 minutes to go? 8 minutes to go.
He only played 25 minutes?
Yeah.
No,
I thought it was – Michigan's size gave them problems, obviously, but I thought it was one-sided officiating in the second half in favor of Michigan, and I had Michigan. So
That's strong. Carl, anything else all weekend long, huh?
All weekend long. I mean, looking at the card today, I kind of feel like yesterday was a much better card than today. Today looks like it's a very difficult card for the better. I like Troy today. That's about the only thing. I didn't bet it.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing that I like.
I'm taking Troy against Kentucky as well.
Yeah, I like
Kentucky's got. I mean, they're just worn down, man. And down some guys. Butler keeps getting hurt. So Carl, we appreciate it, buddy.
You got it, man. You guys have a good day today. Charlie, behave yourself.
Always.
He was funny last night. I seen him walking in last night from the pit. So he was
from
excited.
The pit.
From
the
pit.
Yes.
You got to take a little break from basketball from time to time.
That's what it's out there for, right there, man.
That's right. Live at lunch, live at Beau Rivage for March Madness at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodaux store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. And right now on the website at doitbest.com/Thibodaux store, you can get some great specials if you're getting your yard in shape as we begin here in the spring. Yesterday, first day of spring. The Scott's 4-step fertilizer and seeding programs are all on special right now. Your turf builders are on special right now. Lawn and garden tools and hoses are available right now at good discounts. Also, your spreaders, your seeders, potting and topsoil, your outdoor power equipment, all of those things on special right now. Wagons, wheelbarrows as well. Get them at the Thibodeau store at 900 St. Patrick Highway. And again, online. Some of these items available for delivery. doitbest.com/Thibodeau/store.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, out to San Diego. Talk to my boy Chris Massaro, professional sports gambler. Get a recap from day one and his picks for game 2. Chris, how was your day yesterday?
Pretty solid day, Jimmy. How you guys doing? Pretty solid day. I was on UCLA, Creighton, BYU. I was on UCSD. I heard you guys talking about that. That second half officiating was absolutely horrendous. I felt bad for those kids. Granted, they got behind early, but, I mean, the referees stepped in. There was 2 points in the game where they really stepped in. There was a 4-minute stretch. The score was 45-42. UCSD had the ball, and the ball was blatantly tipped out of bounds by Michigan, but they gave the ball to Michigan. There was like 4 or 5 loose balls. Every single one was given to Michigan. They called no fouls on Michigan, and every foul was on UCSD in a 4-minute stretch. And that Golden kid, yeah, he's a big 7-footer, but I mean, he's just there bullying people, and they refused to foul him out of the game. He should have been fouled out of the game midway through the second half. They refused to do it, and what they do is they foul the Titans player, best player out. Didn't even get to play. I mean, it was just a sad way to do it, and it was pretty much the last game going. Everyone was watching it because the other games were blowouts. It was just pathetic, and everyone saw it. I mean, Charlie was just saying it, and it's all over Twitter or whatever. It's just not the way you want these games to end. But great day overall. I did have a couple losers. I was on Missouri in the over. I was kind of going contrarian there, and it didn't work out. But overall, a pretty solid day.
Yeah, I failed to mention Drake. Drake and McNeese were the 2, underdogs that won outright yesterday. So, and McNeese State this is where you benefit from kind of going through it with some of the players, a team, a coach, a program, that they were, because they were so wide-eyed, because the stage was so big last year. And look, we get a lot of stuff wrong, but this one, I just thought McNeese State was going to be ready to play. That was going to be in their head from last year, and they were ready. The Tritons last night, the first half was too big, and they dug themselves a hole, and then they got gone once they kind of got their jitters out. But that's the one burden, the one blame I put on them. They weren't quite themselves for the first half. I mean, they were out of sorts. And, man, once they got going and working that ball and getting mismatches, quickness against size, mostly, they were fun to watch, man. It was just – and then it was the guy got knocked to the ground, man. Damn. I mean, I couldn't believe that they just kept playing. I'm like, what did I miss?
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So, but anyway,
there was a few like that in the second half where they would drive to the hoop, get hammered, no call. It was just it was bizarre. The refs stepped in. It's just that's what they do sometimes. So,
Chris, who are you on today? Who are you on today?
All right, I have a few games I really like today. I'm in that Circa Challenge. My best bet in that contest is going to be over in Oklahoma, UConn. Now, this line has moved a bit throughout the week. It opened at 146.5. We're up to 148.5. But I'm telling you, if you look at this game, I don't understand how this number is under 150. UConn, as we know it all year, not a very good defensive team, 96 defensive efficiency. Oklahoma, 69. So we're not looking at two solid defensive teams. And the key factor in this game is that UConn, dominant offensively, and they're dominant usually in the paint. And that's where Oklahoma really struggles, 322nd in two-point defense. Another factor in this game that I really like is that they both shoot the free throw really well. UConn's 11th in the country at 79.1%, and Oklahoma's even better at 79.4, ninth in the country. And on the flip side, defensively, they both foul a lot. So I think there's going to be a lot of free throws in this game. I don't really like the defenses of either team, and I feel like this is a type of game where maybe Oklahoma gets behind a little bit. They're not the greatest team. They've been up and down all year, but they do have a couple of sharpshooters outside of Jeremiah Fierce who also shoot the ball at close to 40% or more, with more Miles and Godin. So I think this could be a track meet. I mean, Ken Palm had it at 151. I made it 152 and a half, 153. I thought it opened a lot too short, and I really like the over in this game. I think there's not going to be much defense played. I think they're going to be running up and down the court. I know UConn likes to play a little slower than most, but I figure with Oklahoma and Fierce pushing the pace, I think this game's going to be a little bit more up and down than they think.
All right, 147 and a half over here to BetMGM outlet at the Beau Rivage where we are. So that's what we got here. All right, who else, Chris?
All right, I'm also going to be on Memphis. This is just a fade of the. I'm fading the Mountain West until they beat me, and it hasn't happened yet. The first thing I did when the money lines came out earlier in the week was I money lined all the teams that were playing the Mountain West teams, and so far we're 2 for 2. Last night UCLA destroyed them, and San Diego State. What an embarrassment the other night. I know Hunter's out, but I'm just not a fan of the Mountain West. They just have done nothing to impress me. They don't play any teams. They play each other in a rock fight style of conference play. And I like Memphis. And Memphis is a team, like you mentioned, they haven't had that experience, but now they do have a little bit more experience this year. They played a bunch of good teams early in the season. I know everyone says there's a huge coaching disadvantage with Penny Hardaway, but something tells me Memphis is going to get the job done this year. I really like this team. They played well in the championship game without Hunter against UAB. They dominated that league. They played some great games in Maui. I'm going to be on Memphis today.
Memphis again going against the Mountain West Conference. Mountain West Conference yesterday 0-2. That's 24 in a row that they have lost as double-digit seeds. All 4 participants in the NCAA tournament this year from the Mountain West Conference are double-digit seeds. So in Memphis, without Hunter, they slapped around UAB on Sunday in that American final. Who else, Chris?
I got an interesting one. This one's probably not a favorite of many of the people sitting at the Beau Rivage today, because we figure who wants to bet an under in a game like this. But I love the under in the Ole Miss UNC game. I was looking for a comp where Ole Miss played a fast-track team, and sure enough, I found it. Earlier this year, January 14th, Ole Miss traveled to Alabama where the spread was 11.5, 163.5. Well, what happened? Ole Miss goes into Tuscaloosa, wins 74-64. And I think Chris Beard's going to have the Rebels ready to hold down this firepower of UNC. They held Bama that night to 5 from 20 from 3, held Mark Sears to only 11 points on 2 of 8 shooting. R.J. Davis isn't going to be walking into wide-open threes like he was against San Diego State. I'm not sure what that effort was from San Diego State, but it was putrid. He went 6 for 6 from 3. I don't see that happening again. I think Chris Beard's going to have something devised for this game to be a lot slower pace, really good defense. The Rebels are 23rd defensive efficiency in the country, and they do not turn the ball over. So there's not going to be all those fast break points that UNC had the other night. So I like under 156 in this game. I'm pretty sure that number's still out there. It's obviously the public's probably going to be on it over with the UNC game. I really like under in Ole Miss UNC.
155.5 here at the Beau Rivage. I sat in Coleman Coliseum in Alabama, and I watched Chris Beard slow down the highest scoring team in the country this year, Alabama, en route to a win. So if he wants to slow it down, and North Carolina is uncomfortable slowing it down, so I will take Chris Beard in trying to win that tempo. Max, you had something real quick?
No, I like that play. I like the under there.
All right, Chris, how many more you got?
Well, I got one more. Just it's almost a little bit of a homer play. If you guys probably don't realize this, I went to Bryant, so I was a Bryant Bulldog.
Oh,
graduated there in 1998, and I think Bryant has a chance to hang tough a little bit here. Now, this is a veteran team, 2.62 years D1 experience. They're one of the tallest teams in the country. So why do I say that? It's because how does Michigan State usually dominate? They shoot up a bunch of threes that don't go in. They shoot 30%, but they get the offensive rebounds. Well, Bryant is not bad. They're top 50 in offensive rebounds with that height, veteran experience, and they have two tall guards, 6'6" guards, Tinzone and Timberlake. So I think this team poses a little bit of a matchup problem. Instead of being the Michigan State bully where they kind of bully everyone, get all the offensive rebounds off the missed shots, I think 18 points, I know it's down to 17 now, I played it at 18. I think that's going to be a lot for this Michigan State team to cover, considering they're only at 328th in the country in shooting three. So I think it's going to be a little bit tighter game than most people think.
First to 15. The first one's in the books for the Bulldogs. Bully the Bulldogs. So it's not, Max, here you go. This is for you. We try and teach Max things over. It's not bully. It's Tupper, the Bulldog at Bryant College, a small private college in Smithfield, Rhode Island, known best for producing esteemed professional sports bettors. Okay?
Oh, I thought.
All right, Max?
Okay. I was known for like Tupperware.
Hey, Jimmy, let me tell you this. I noticed you guys were at the Beau Rivage today, and so I had to look it up. Quick story for you. Back in the day, 2021 season, that was the magical year of the Patriots. I was out in Las Vegas with a few of my friends for the Saints-Patriots game. Well, we met these girls from Biloxi, Mississippi, okay? Fast forward, the Patriots make the Super Bowl, and we're, me and my buddies are 25, 26-year-old kids. We have no idea how we're going to get down there, where we're going to stay. So I called this girl up from Biloxi, Mississippi. Sure enough, she works as a cocktail waitress at the Beau Rivage. So she got me and my buddy a room. So on Saturday, February 2nd, the night before the Patriots' first Super Bowl title, I was sleeping at the Beau Rivage. I woke up that morning, drove into New Orleans. Patriots beat the Rams in the biggest shocker in Super Bowl history. The only problem was we had no place to stay Sunday night, so we slept in our car. But I was at the Beau about 26 years ago. Great place, really love it. Awesome, beautiful cocktail waitresses. So I hope you guys have a great time there today.
Good luck, Tupper. All right, my man. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck, and we'll be in touch.
Bye-bye.
All right, Chris. Take a time out. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, a full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Our great team over at Legacy Title, Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at the Beau, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, the show's available on demand, LouisianaSports.net and 104.5ESPN.com. 16-14, Mississippi State up. We're just inside of the second media timeout in the first half, game number 1 here today. Let's bring in Troy Macker from Bed Rivers. Troy, how was day 1 in the NCAA tournament for you yesterday?
It was fun. It certainly wasn't the best day ever. No buzzer beaters, only a couple of close games. But I think we learned a lot about the caliber of top teams in the tournament. Certainly some of the smarter plays did hit. So it was a good day, but I'm really hoping for a little bit more madness today.
Give me the splits on the big upset with McNeese State over Clemson, and I guess also with Drake over Missouri. Did the public get on those dogs?
For Clemson, kind of, because here's the thing. 73% of the money and 72% of the tickets were on the Tigers to win. That was one of our more popular tickets yesterday. It was the third most by total tickets. But on the spread, it was 65% of the money was on McNeese State, and it was just about even a ticket. But, McNeese State, I think for a money standpoint, was like the 5th or 6th most wagered on handle. And then Drake, Drake was the big one, the second most popular play by total tickets. It was the 5th strongest spread play by money, with 59%. It was the 3rd strongest spread play by tickets, 73%. That was winners. It was up there with St. John's and Houston, which both covered. So,
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The public was certainly on Drake a little bit more, 52% of the money and 53% of the tickets. So the public was going with the dog there. And, the thing is the upsets that happened yesterday, what we had a 10-11 and a 12-1. But those were the three, Arkansas and Kansas were pretty even. Drake is one of the best mid-majors in the country. I know they get a lot of D2 Drake stuff, but, Drake's program has been elite at their level for the last 5 years. And McNeese State, obviously, we know all about them. We know all about their head coach. They've been one of the best mid-majors of the last 2 years in dominant fashion, playing against good teams as well. So no real surprises, but, on those big bets, the public did come out on top.
Troy, on Monday you told us that the two most wagered on teams, and this is a day after the brackets had come out, were Michigan and UC San Diego, who were playing each other. A lot of eyeballs on that game last night. By the time it came around, the rest of the games had been pretty much decided. A lot of controversy over the officiating in the second half. I was on the winning side, and I acknowledge wholeheartedly that Michigan was the beneficiary of some calls last night. How did you see it, and how did the action turn out on Michigan and UC San Diego?
Yeah, I'm not a big ref guy. I don't like complaining about refs. They're just as inaccurate as college three-point shooters. We're all human. But I will note that it was not good. There were a couple ticky-tack fouls where there was limited to no contact. And I think what happens is they, try to control the game, and then they make a bad call. So then at the other end, they have a makeup call, but that call is bad too. And then it's not so much the game is getting out of hand, but they've lost control of being able to actually call realistic fouls. And I think that's what took place, even though the game really wasn't out of hand from a physicality standpoint. That game was easily the most wagered on game, easily the most popular game. We're talking seven-figure handle when mid to high seven-figure handle when the next largest game was just cracking seven figures. Tickets about 4,000 to 5,000 more tickets than the next most wagered on game. And it should come as no surprise that the three most wagered on games, 5-12, Michigan, San Diego, 6-11, Missouri, Drake, 5-12, Clemson, McNeese. So the public had a lot of stake in those, tightly contested games with darling teams. It was one of the only three games of the day, the San Diego Michigan game, where the public won outright on the whole game. The public certainly won on Michigan, especially at the end, 2.5. That line didn't really move 2.5 to 2, and never got to 3 for a push. But that was one where we typically the book will come out on top in a lot of the games where the public wins heavily on two sides, just because we offer a lot of options that don't always hit. This game was one of just three yesterday that won out across all bets in that game. So that was a good look from the public, even though, a lot of people wanted to get on San Diego. They just couldn't deal with the size that Michigan offers.
Troy, here where we are in Biloxi at the Beau Rivage, the first half unders split down the middle, 8-8 yesterday. Not sure how it came out with you guys on those first half unders. A lot of people will play that as just a blanket play, first half unders. Seems like in the last couple of years the books have adjusted to that, and the edge is not what it once was.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't love playing first half unders. I would rather do a race to 10 points because you basically eliminate one team from what are they going to do if they come out slow, if the rims are frozen for them. But you do see a lot of runs in the NCAA tournament. We saw a lot of kill shots yesterday that didn't really decide the game. There were multiple games that went back and forth that had multiple kill shots. This is a 15-0 run. But there's just a lot of rust, and I think you can get on a race to 10, race to first 15, as opposed to the under, just because, like you said, the books have really become aggressive with moving those lines, where you're more likely to hit on a first-half team total or a first-half race to 10.
You hear a roar in the background at any point while we're doing the show, it's because somebody got to 15. It's one of the most popular things going in this particular sports book. All right, let's move to the action today. The most wagered on sides or totals today, as the first two games are underway now.
Yeah, it's crazy. The most wagered on play, it's almost twice as large handle as the second most wagered on play. And the top one is Alabama minus 22 against Robert Morris. I know Alabama can really score. They got a ton of players. Robert Morris is one of the weaker sides of the field. 22 points is just a lot, even though we saw, St. John's covered, Auburn covered, Houston covered. I believe Tennessee didn't cover. Actually, I don't know if Auburn covered. But
no, Auburn did not cover, no.
Did not cover. But so a lot of the top teams did end up covering these big spreads. The top four strongest spread plays today are all double-digit favorites. And they're all above 80% right now. Florida minus 28.5, 92% of the spread tickets. Bama minus 22, 88% of the spread tickets. Kentucky minus 11, 82% of the spread tickets. Michigan State minus 17.5, 80% of the tickets. So, usually we see people going on the 13, 14, 15 seeds. Not today, but Alabama is really going to be the one. Them covering is going to make or break that game for the public. The one I will say, I'm not backing Kentucky minus 11 for one simple reason, because they're playing Troy, and I will sail my namesake until Kingdom Come, even though they're unlikely to win today.
We like Troy as well, actually, today.
Yeah.
And I noticed the one you left out, Troy. Carl Johnson, the sportsbook manager here at the Beau Rivage, told us that for some reason they've seen a little influx of Mount St. Mary's money. So I noticed you named all the other big favorites, but you didn't mention Duke. I don't know if you guys are showing the same, that for some reason little MSM money, 32.5 is what we're showing here at the sportsbook.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, we haven't taken a big amount of money or tickets on that game. Right now, 55% of the spread tickets are on Duke. 61% of the spread money is on Mount St. Mary's. But because of the playing game, all the action on Thursday is on the Thursday game. So, this being a late afternoon game, I think you'll really know more about where the public stands in the next 2 to 3 hours. But anything over 30 is a lot for me. And I just, even though they say Cooper Flagg's going to play, I just don't see why you do. I don't love the overprotective resting guys until you absolutely need them. But this is a spot where I would not play him at all.
Yeah.
So maybe people are thinking that, they'll probably win by 24, 25. You still take Mount St. Mary's and you cover easily by 6.
All right, besides your namesake, who else do you like today besides Troy?
Yeah, Troy, just picking his own name. Yeah, Troy.
I liked a lot of more of the upsets, the underdogs yesterday. When the bracket was announced, I liked maybe Bryant to throw a wrinkle in there, but and maybe cover against Michigan State. But the more I look at that, Bryant it doesn't play defense. The one interesting thing for me after seeing yesterday and some playing games is the Mountain West Conference. Typically a very good conference. I put them as the last Power 5 now that the Pac-12 doesn't exist. They have 4 teams in. They have not been good thus far. Colorado State plays Memphis. Memphis has an All-American. Colorado State's really good, but Memphis is garnering a lot of tickets, a lot of money. I like Memphis there. And then New Mexico versus Marquette. Marquette hasn't been the same team they were earlier in the year, and New Mexico was the best team in the Mountain West. I'm really intrigued to see if there is a conference letdown here. We do like to talk about how the conference performs, even though it's a selection of teams that do have similar identities. But this is one where I'm actually going to, get on the soapbox with the rest of the public and say, I wonder if I would just fade Colorado State and New Mexico today because, the quality of competition is down in the league, even though it's very tough. And Marquette, played St. John's very well the last 2 times they played. And Memphis has been eking by some games, but I think their level of talent is far superior to Colorado State.
Troy, we appreciate it. As always, enjoy the basketball weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday when we'll have the field compared down to 16.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, Troy.
Today's show brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. Because when it comes to retirement, there's no two situations exactly alike. So let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you. Doesn't matter where you are in life, what age you are, your income level. They're going to tailor-make a plan for you. They're going to bring in tax professionals and the legal teams, your business partners. They're going to make sure all of your retirement goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you, and I can tell you for sure because they're working for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff, 337-981-1376, or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. Live at the
Hey, when we come back, got Randy McKay. He's got 8 picks today, where a lot of people have been asking us on Twitter and stuff like that.
And we'll get those when we come back. Live at the Bow, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Strong day for our buddy Randy McKay, so getting a lot of requests for his picks today. He had 2 already. So first of all, recapping his day yesterday, Michigan won, St. John's won, Houston won, Purdue won. His first half picks, and BYU won. His first half picks, Wofford, Drake, Yale was his one loser, Montana, and BYU, a 9-1 day. For Big Dog Randy McKay at RR39. He gave us Bama and Grand Canyon on Wednesday as well, so those are the 2 games that he's on for the full game. Bama minus the points and Grand Canyon plus the points. We gave that earlier in the week, so you had those if you've been listening throughout the week. And then today, first half numbers only. First half. These are all first half dogs. That continues the trend where these dogs are getting out to a lead or playing close at halftime, and then the favorite is kind of flexing their muscles in the second half. Oklahoma is first half. I don't know, Max, if you have these first half lines that you can run by. Lipscomb, Troy, Akron, Liberty.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And Grand Canyon as well. So Grand Canyon is a double pick. So Oakland was about +3 or so.
Oakland?
Oklahoma.
Yes, Oklahoma +3.5.
+3.5.
You've got Lipscomb +8.5. That's coming up at 12:30.
Quickly.
Troy's +6.5 against Kentucky. Liberty is +4.5. Akron +7.5, and Grand Canyon +5.5.
There you go. So Big Dog, you got his picks down for you right there. Live at Beau Rivage, live at lunch on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at the Bow for day number 2 of the NCAA basketball tournament. Charles Hanniger, Jimmy Ott, Max Gautreau. Mississippi State with a 1-point lead over Baylor. I'm losing track of how many lead changes. It's been back and forth the entire first half. And we got Alabama and Robert Morris going right now. That is a 19-11 game. The Tide just inside the second media timeout, about 11 and a half minutes to go. 19-11, Alabama leads it.
All right, let's go out to Las Vegas, talk to Bruce Marshall. Bruce Marshall, a veteran handicapper. Bruce, how's your March Madness so far?
Well, it's really good. By the way, I got news. My colonoscopy came back clean, so I'm already 1-0 for today. So,
that's good.
That's good news.
Very good. Very good. Only dogs that won outright yesterday, Bruce, were McNeese State and Drake. Just a good day for you, bad day, surprises.
Creighton as well, but very, very small.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Creighton, yeah, that's right. Creighton was the dog, definitely. Okay.
It was a great day for me yesterday with the picks, but I tell you what, when I watch Drake, and I've seen them some this year, and you watch Ben McCollum interviewed,
This guy is dead serious, too. There is no fooling around about him. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And somebody's got to pluck him out of it. I mean, I sort of expect Iowa, now that has opened up. I know this is a rapid thing for McCollum to just, 15 years in D2, and he won huge at that level. And he brought a lot of those guys with him here to Drake this year. So that would be a challenge if he stays there. He's got to get a new crop of players pretty soon. But the way they play, the way they jam, they completely dictated everything in Missouri yesterday. And that's what I've been watching them all year. Whenever I see them, they just control the tempo on everybody. And this guy reminds me of a modern-day Boyd Grant, who won big, though he wasn't always at the top, school. But you give the guy like this a chance at a power conference, I'd like to see what he can do. I am floored by watching Drake and how disciplined they were yesterday. That was a masterclass McCollum's team put forth last night.
Yeah, they really, the battle of tempo, and we enjoy these, and they certainly won that battle of tempo yesterday. All right, Brucey, 2 games underway right now, 3:30 mark in the first half. Mississippi State 30, Baylor 29, and then 10:40 to go in the first half. Alabama 19 and Robert Morris 13 in that one, make it 21-13 as we're down here in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so not too far, 3.5 hours from Alabama's campus. So there are some Bama fans here. Are you on any of these, and who are you on moving forward?
Yeah, Jimmy, I was on Alabama here this morning. Robert Morris just hit a 3 here. They're getting a little closer, so they're hanging around. But I expect at some point Alabama's going to pull away and move free. Robert Morris, by the way, the home team of the Pittsburgh Airport. So good for them to be here, but they'll start losing touch at some point. Later today, there is a dog I'm very interested in, and that's Akron. We might have talked about them a little bit before. We have talked about John Gross before. He has been here in the tournament before. At a variety of, Ohio U at Illinois. He's a winning coach. In Akron this year, all they did once they got going was win 21 of their last 22. That was a great comeback in the game against Miami. Against Miami O in the MAC final. This is the sort of team I look for in March. A lot of experience there, depth, and by the way, they score a heck of a lot, nearly 85 points per game. And Arizona does have a history going back to Lute of some flops in the first round. They did get past Long Beach last year, but 2 years ago, Tommy Lloyd lost that game to Princeton. And I don't think Arizona is going to try to slow Akron down tonight. They'll just take the bait and they'll try to run with them. They think they can outscore everybody. They got that total up there very, very high, so I'm not as bullish on that. But I do think Akron plus all the points. And even if you want to go for a real flyer on a money line, I wouldn't object to that. But the 14.5 or so looks really good to me. I'm also intrigued by Xavier in Illinois. After Xavier came back on Texas the other night, there's something resilient about this team, and I like the way they played down the stretch. And they did blow that game in the Big East tournament against Marquette, but they reversed that against Texas. They had to come back on the Longhorns late, and Texas was playing pretty well, and they just turned that whole game around. Again, the experience there. Fremantle's been around a long time. He's got a great story. He missed last year being hurt. They brought in Conwell as a transfer this year, so you got 2 upper-class guys there who are good 1-2 punch. Just a tough-minded team that played well late in the season. Illinois really didn't. Now, they did have some injuries. They had illnesses for a while, but they're still only 9-9 in their last 18. I think Xavier can win this game tonight, and I think they got a shot. Illinois just a little too flighty for me, so that's an underdog. I think there's 2 underdogs tonight. I'm looking at really hard.
All right, Bruce Marshall, former executive editor of the Gold Sheep, but now just an all-around guy, and we're doing a lot of different things. But let's get us caught up on what you're doing. I can't keep up, man. VegasInsider.com. What are we doing these days?
Yeah, CBS Sportsline. We're doing a lot with them now. Sportsline.com. We got a neat thing called Discord. I've been 12-0 the last 3 days in college hoops, and so we're doing pretty good. with that. But to check that out, and winnersandwhiners.com, picksandparlays.com. So I got stuff up all over the place with some of these picks. And it's good fun. We got NBA, NHL, too, so it's all happening. Baseball coming, too. How about your Cubs, Jimmy? I'm very disappointed in them, by the way.
Man, I mean, how about their pick to win the damn division? So we'll see about that. But St. Louis kind of back in. We'll see about that. I'm pulling more for the Pirates than I am the Cubbies these days with Skeens over there. So that would be fun to get behind, to say the least. We saw him strike out 8 in just a few innings the other day in spring training on Monday.
The card went for $1.1 million. The one of one, the Skeens rookie card that they produced specifically to, they had
just produced one.
They produced one, and they had this giveaway. One lucky person got it, and they offered the kid 30 years worth of season tickets and all kind of other perks. Suite with Livy Dunn for all these games and all this stuff. And he said no. It's a 14-year-old, I think. Put it in an auction, went for $1.1 million yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Bruce, what do you, Sean Miller name surfacing maybe for the Texas job? Is that a possibility? I mean, I know for a fact he's one of those Big East coaches that are trying to do his best to get into the SEC. They won the play-in game. Winning today would be a big help. He won some some tournament games at Xavier that landed him a big job at Arizona at one time. Has his missteps, are they forgiven or kind of eased with time like we see some others? And, of course, Will Wade on his way to NC State. Not exactly a whole lot of distractions by Will Wade. Shoemate, their captain, was very, very strong in his commentary post-game about, hey, this was clarity, not distractions.
I totally agree with what Shoemate said. We knew all year that this was probably the last year with Wade there. I think they were surprised he stuck around after last year because he could have moved then, too. It's always forgiven and forgotten now in college hoops. I mean, what used to get coaches in trouble doesn't anymore. I mean, Sean Miller, Bruce Pearl, Patino, Will Wade, so they'll surface. I saw that report about Miller in Texas. It wouldn't surprise me because Texas is going to throw big money at somebody here, and it looks like poor Rodney Terry's on his way out. So that wouldn't surprise me, Jimmy. And you can, they will. That'll be the difference. That'll be a better. You're in a tougher league, I think, even in the Big Ten, so that's a better job than, say, Iowa, because of the support, and Iowa doesn't get a lot of nil. Although, boy, you're really in there with the Sharks in the SEC. That is tough waters to swim in. But I can see Miller doing it. You throw that much money at anybody, and they would throw big bucks. Not surprising if it did, although, I'm not sure Miller's fine being where he is, but it'd be hard to say no, Jimmy, if Texas comes in with a big money offer. We'll see.
Oh, he wants it. He won't say no. There's no doubt about that. So, no. He won't say no. But that will be the only coaching change in the SEC this year.
Yeah. Looks like it would be. Yeah. So I agree. I think he could. And by the way, I don't feel too bad for Rodney Terry. He's going to walk away with close to $6 million. I mean, I'll do that too if you want to. If they want to fire me from CBS and give me $6 million, I'm fine.
Bruce, we were talking about the Villanova job last night, and what they're going to do there. There was a report that they are in talks with a sitting head coach somewhere. We thought Kevin Willard at Maryland might be a name that we talked about. And then we said, is Villanova a better job than Maryland given the Big Ten?
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Money. Northwestern is in contract talks with Chris Collins to extend him after his name surfaced up at Villanova. How good is that job right now?
It's a great job. First of all, you don't have football to worry about in the Big East. They have a great nil operation in Villanova. They wasted 3 years on Kyle Neptune, and you can win there. I could see Kevin Willard thinking, Villanova's a better basketball job than Maryland, and maybe going. Also, apparently, they had Shaka was on their radar, but he likes it so much at Marquette, he's not going to leave there because it's a similar sort of thing. I think Ryan Odom's name is there. It could be there too, and a better job than Virginia, I think, would be the Villanova job. But it's a coveted job, and Willard could be live there. Odom and a few others. It's a great job, and they want to win. The boosters are there. You got the nil. It's a basketball-only league, and that's appealing to some coaches. Don't have to worry about the football thing. It's all basketball. You get paid well enough there, and they can win. So I think it's a great job.
Willard had a heck of a run at Seton Hall. They made the tournament 6 out of the last 7 years he was there. He's made it 2 out of 3 years at Maryland, and they big uptick this year. They won twice as many games in the Big Ten as they did a year ago.
They're one of those dangerous teams. Their starting five is averaging more points than anybody else in the country. They have more games where their starting five has scored double digits than anybody in the country, but they just do not have a ton of depth. And, man, I'll tell you what, I think Willard's a pretty good coach. That was not well coached on the last 5 seconds defense against Michigan in the Big Ten semifinal.
No.
Coast to coast for a layup. Ouch. That's as bad. That's memorably bad, huh, Bruce?
Ouch. Oh, is that a big ouch, baby? Oh, that was a big ouch for sure.
Yes, indeed.
Robert Morris has pulled within 5 now with a little over 6 minutes to go in the first half. Tron Macker was telling us that they took the most money on Alabama this morning in the lead up to the first tips today. So the Tide, I don't want to say they're struggling, but they're certainly not running away from Robert Morris.
Yeah, Randy McKay gave us Bama earlier today. Brucey, anything else before we let you go, big guy?
Let's look forward to tomorrow. A little bit, and we see a couple of matchups out there tomorrow. Here we go with Creighton and Auburn. You're giving Auburn a lot of points. Auburn's giving Creighton almost 10. I'm seeing 9.5 and 10 out there.
Yeah.
Man, Creighton shoots threes like that. You've got the big guy, Kalkbrenner. I know Janae Broom, but, listen, Kalkbrenner, he's a rim protector. If those guys hit threes like that and they continue to not foul. Yesterday, Louisville only took 8 free throws yesterday. We've talked about that all year. The least fouling team in the country. Teams don't do a lot of business at the free throw line against Creighton. There's teams 5-6 free throws a game against them. It helps. I think it's a pretty live dog tomorrow. And by the way, I think Calipari is live tomorrow against his old buddy Rick Pitino. Arkansas keeps doing it. I thought they were kicking that game away last night, and they pulled it together straight. Something's going on with this team. St. John's has had some close wins. I know they put away Omaha last night. I think that is going to be a very tough game, and I would maybe look at Arkansas there. And one other dog, we talked about Drake. I'm not laying 7.5 to this team. I know Grant McCaslin's his own great coach. And by the way, there's another name to watch too. I could see. I'm not sure Texas Tech can keep a hold of him, but Drake plus 7.5. The way they play, I'm taking Drake again.
Creighton is catching 9.5 against Auburn tomorrow. As Bruce said, Drake plus 7.5 against Texas Tech, and Arkansas is catching 6.5 against St. John's the Redmen. That is the Colucci Invitational. Calipari, Patino.
I'll tell you what else I like about tomorrow. The schedule. McNeese is the first game. They are a standalone game. They've got a 2.5-hour window. Everybody, all the eyes of the basketball world will be on McNeese and Purdue tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, 10 after 11. Bruce, what kind of a chance do you give the Cowboys?
I give them a chance because this offense isn't that smooth, but man, it was that defense yesterday. Clemson 67 points, very deceiving. They had like 25 in the last 3 minutes. The switching zones that Wade did, just get in the face of those Purdue shooters, and they got a shot. I think Purdue is beatable. I think McNeese has a shot in that game. Looks like I'm looking at a lot of dogs tomorrow. So. I'm very impressed by McNeese. That defense, that is real. And I love Shoemate down there flying around the basket. Kaufman-Renn is not going to have an easy run to the hoop. This is going to be a tight game.
There you go. I think I know this. They feel they match up with them pretty good. Yeah, and we thought that, and we thought that, and they thought that as well with Clemson. So
there'll be some increased television ratings over in Raleigh-Durham.
What time is that game
11:10. It's the first one.
First one.
Yeah, they got the whole window to themselves. 2.5 hour window.
11, 15?
11:10.
11:10. Okay, very good. Very good. So it's standalone, Willie the Kid, and my man Omar Khan. Was it
Amir
Khan? Amir Khan, who was on live with Sports Center last night. Some detail about his NIL with Buffalo Wild Wings and Insomniac Cookies. He has worked a deal where they feed the whole team. So they all went to Buffalo Wild Wings and fed all of the entire team for their pairing show. When they left on the plane, Insomniac Cookies had lunch, packaged lunches for them. So, my man Khan spreads the wealth, baby.
Chicken wings and chocolate chip cookies, I'm sure he's popular.
See why they get behind him and dance when he's got that good boom box? Huh?
Yes.
Oh, Bruce, isn't that great?
That's right up my alley, boys. I love that.
Thank you, Bruce. We appreciate it, brother. Good luck this weekend. Let's stay hot.
Have fun, boys. We'll try.
All right. That is Bruce Marshall. Long-time professional handicapper with us. So we remind everybody about our folks over at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. With locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, we've been serving the people of southern Louisiana for over 50 years, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at the Beau Rivage, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at the Beau, halftime at the first game of the day, which is the Mississippi State and Baylor game. Very close game. Biggest margin is what it is at halftime, 5 points. Baylor with a 5-point lead. And Robert Morris I think they're doing more than just hanging around here with Alabama. It's 37-31 tied. We're just about at the 2-minute mark, almost to the 2-minute mark in the first half. In fact, we just went under that. Jimmy, Alabama's shooting 63% from the floor.
I know.
And it's not like they're running away with this thing. Robert Morris is not getting beat up on the glass. The rebounding battle is even. In fact, Alabama's turned the ball over 4 more times. If Robert Morris is hanging around while Alabama is blistering hot, if they cool off at all, as we see Alabama hits another 3, and now they extend the lead to 8. I don't know how long they can shoot 63%, but Colonials have been hanging around here in this first half.
Look, Robert Morris is one of those teams that they fit that criteria that they've had some success in. And it was Kenny White told us about it yesterday. Win your regular season, win your conference tournament, you're underdog. And Charlie, they're not afraid. This is why I stayed away from this first half under, because they are not afraid to run and try and push the pace. Kind of that's what they do. And it's a big step up in class from what they're used to playing, but still, and keep in mind that semifinal game that they won, boy, they were dead. They were dead, and they got a bad foul. They got an N1 on a 2 when they were down 3 with like 8 seconds to go to send it into overtime. So it was, I didn't expect Robert Morris with so many wins this year to be completely out of sorts, and they're kind of playing giving Alabama side. Some of the shots have been dunks, but yeah, I mean, it's taken that type of shooting to maintain an 8-point lead with 1:19 to go.
That number, if you missed it yesterday, that Kenny White gave us, teams who in their conference and their conference tournament cover and are underdogs cover 70% of the time. That goes all the way back to 1980. Yesterday it was 2-2. McNeese and Drake both covered. Both of them won outright. Yale and VCU did not. Today, 4 more teams are in that category: Lipscomb, Liberty, Akron, and Memphis. So if you want to play the trend, yesterday, bro, you split down the middle, 2-2. But you got 4 more opportunities after this today as they wind down in the final minute of the first half. And this is still a 6-point game. Robert Morris on the offensive glass has got an 8-2 advantage. So you think SEC maybe bigger, more physical. Robert Morris is right there with them here in this first half. So we'll see.
It's just in kind of Alabama. They beat Kentucky, but I guess
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
it's a big win at Auburn. That was huge on the last day of the regular season for sure. But they have their concerns coming in. And look, some of the Alabama people there, Nelson's not playing, and he's a big part of what they do, a big part. He's also versatile. No matter what the matchup is and what you need out of him, you need some passing. If you need some shooting, if you need some boards, you need him to defend a big. He can do so many things, and they're missing him as we watch the Colonials hit another one to cut the lead to single possession. 39-36 with 11 seconds to go, and this team is not phased. That's for sure. You can see they got some swagger, and they're feeling it right now, getting this thing back down to 3.
Didn't you get a boots on the ground report from Tuscaloosa this morning? I mean,
this Randy McKay's pick too. This is what do you? They are a little bit concerned not having Nelson. That he is a valued piece of their team. I do know that. They'll take the win. We win by one possession and shooting that percentage.
Yeah,
your point is well taken.
Robert Morris is in no way outclassed here. So they're one possession left to go to the half.
Yeah. So
and Lipscomb and Iowa State going to tip off here in about 3 minutes.
Yep, and we'll look at some of the other games. We'll go through the list and tell you the games that I got a few that I do like today, and so we'll pass those along and break them down. Remind everybody, you get downtown, check out some of the great little pizzeria, man. Town Square Pizza, facing Town Square. It's shaped square, so the Town Square. They did the king cakes. Charlie was raving about so much during the Mardi Gras season, but man, it's kind of grab and go, man. You get in line, you pick out your ingredients, or you get a specialty made pizza, and 10 minutes or so. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is. It's short, comes out piping hot, fresh, delicious stuff, and more than enough to fill you up. So it's affordable, it's good, it's fresh, it's quick. You name it. It checks all the boxes. So you downtown, you got folks staying downtown in some of the hotels, go check out Town Square Pizza.
Live at the Beau Rivage, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at the Beau Live at lunch, we're brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff done a great job for us over the years. Back pain, neck pain, soreness, things that are keeping you from getting around as well as you'd like, or maybe costing you a good night's sleep. Let them help you out the way they have helped out our family. They'll get you adjusted. They'll get you in the program and the stretching and the exercises that'll loosen some things up. But if you do need a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, or ultrasound therapy, they can help you out there too. They'll find those problem areas and get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway, near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. They're underway in the second half. Baylor and Mississippi State, 37-32 Bears. Alabama got a free throw at the last possession. They take a 4-point lead to the break, 40-36 over pesky Morris.
Max is some of our buddies from BetMGM, huh?
Yeah.
Chanel
and maybe like one of the last 3 Pelicans wins. There haven't been many, so it was one of those ones. It was the one in the play-in against Denver. We had a great time, but good to catch up with them.
They're doing some stuff at the golf BetMGM, or it is MGM Golf.
I
think it's
golf,
not Top Golf anymore, or it's just
pretty cool spot. We were there a couple years ago for March Madness, and it's really, really fun.
I'm not going to bet Hanny against you, though, in the driving the driving contest.
He may or may not. You didn't hear it from me. Whiffed a couple times at the golf ball. No.
Max would be minus $1 billion.
Now, he was a little bit, he was maybe John Daly-esque. He had a few beverages that day.
They serve a very nice smoking old-fashioned over there.
Oh, great. Maybe you're a great golfer, and you just weren't in the...
One of my favorite cocktails around. They do great.
Yes.
I mean, it's worth all the pomp and circumstance. So just part of the kind of the spillover from here, the book, and so a lot of things going on for the folks here at BetMGM and the Beau Rivage. I've got some picks for you. I was going to go in the order. This one's a late one tonight. Oklahoma, UConn, 783, 784. I'll go in numerical order here. I just don't think Oklahoma's that good. And I thought they were desperate down the stretch. They did what they had to do. They made that valiant comeback. They were down 12 with 3 minutes to go in Nashville against Kentucky, and they lose the heartbreaker. So they did enough. They went to Texas and won that game. That was key. Was that the second to last game or last game?
The last game, yeah.
It was the last game, and that was, that's when Trey Johnson went 0 for 14 from the floor.
Lottery pick.
Yes, great player, but his worst game of the season. They only won by 4 in that game. UConn, I'm not crazy about them this year. They're not even close to what they've been. I mean, everybody knows that. But I just think Oklahoma's not that good here. I think UConn may win comfortably in that one. This is my favorite pick, 789, 790 on the rotation, and that is St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. And the last we saw with St. Mary's, it was the ugliest game that I saw all season. And that was the West Coast Conference Final, St. Mary's and Gonzaga. 1 for 31 combined from three-point range. This team's better than that. And they've been here before. One thing we know, just look at the Drake game yesterday. The team that slows it down, it's easier to slow it down than to speed it up. And they are highly disciplined in their very slow tempo. So they are going to stay within the pace right there. It's up to 4.5 right now. My favorite place, St. Mary's, the Gales of California. They are betting North Carolina like they haven't seen. One thing about the first 4 games, they're standalone games. Everybody saw North Carolina look good. So the recency bias is even exaggerated when you have that. I usually like to back them. I'm not. I didn't like either of these teams. Keep in mind, San Diego State, as bad of a team they've had in a long time. I'm taking Ole Miss. I'm going to take Ole Miss. Chris Beard winning the tempo battle in that one. And then I've got Xavier, play-in winner there against Illinois. Illinois has been overrated all season. They will show you glimpses of brilliance at some times, like they did at Michigan when they won by over 20. But for the most part, they've been underwhelming. I like Sean Miller against Underwood and on the bench. I'll take Xavier plus the points against Illinois. And then Troy plus the points against Kentucky. I think Kentucky is Pope has done a respectable job. This is not everything. He had to put this roster together last minute. He's gotten the most out of his roster for the most part. This is not a roster that can absorb key injuries like they've had. And they've got some. One guy is out. Butler is banged up. And so I'm just going with the Troy against a team that's limping to the finish line right now, the Kentucky Wildcats.
Let me back up on the Ole Miss game for a second here. And what Chris Beard is doing there, is he in a situation, except at the Southeastern Conference level, that what Will Wade did at McNeese? Jimmy, it's not like he's hiding the fact that he is looking for a better job.
Right.
And I don't know that one comes unless the Villanova job trips some dominoes or the Texas job trips some dominoes and something else comes up that we don't really foresee. For instance, if Maryland's job came open, they got an AD is on his way out the door. He's headed to SMU, so I don't know that really qualifies. Beard goes into next season at Ole Miss essentially auditioning for another job. I don't know. How does that play at the Southeastern Conference level? I mean, it worked for Wade. He was pretty upfront with him. But at the SEC level, how does that work if Beard goes back to Oxford next year basically on a job audition for something better?
You're Ole Miss. What kind of historical success do you have in
Almost
basketball?
None. Almost none.
0.
Yeah.
I mean, Marshall Henderson got them to win one tournament game.
Yeah.
And that's like they have one tournament win in how many years?
Yeah,
they didn't go last year, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
One tournament win in the last 50 years?
Their best team's claim to fame was losing on the Valpo
Charlie,
buzzer beater.
This is my point. All these teams that are winning in the SEC have no history.
Yeah.
There's 3 that do. Obviously, Kentucky. Florida's got multiple national championships and more Final Fours, and Arkansas has twice as many Final Fours that LSU does, and they have a natty as well in a national runner-up. LSU's never won a game in a Final Four. So those 3 are right. Everybody else is just zoomed by us.
Right, and what they have, though, now is a lot of money. A lot of money. And I remember when Wade got to LSU, he said there's no reason that we can't be Florida, meaning that Florida had won a couple of national championships. Bruce Pearl thought he could win at Auburn, and he has. Rick Barnes thought he could win at Tennessee, and he has. Does Chris Beard at some point come say, I can win here? Can you win a championship at Ole Miss? I mean, I didn't think you could win one at Auburn, and Bruce Pearl damn sure looks like
if you can win one at Auburn, you can win one at Ole Miss.
Okay, so then does he have to leave? If the money's right, and they've got a lot of it.
Well, Indiana's going to have a bigger budget in basketball than Ole Miss.
Okay,
always will.
But they passed. Okay, I'm not. If
they
one
did
of those,
pass. What about Texas has more money?
Well, he can't go back there for obvious reasons.
No, that's right. I'm sorry. I mean, but he's not leaving the SEC for a kind of a marginal Big 12 job.
Right.
It's got to be a Kansas. It's got to be, a real heavyweight. He's not going to the Big East for any job.
Like if Maryland's job opened, is that a better job than Ole Miss? They're a better team than Ole Miss, but is that a better job overall than Ole Miss? If Willard goes to Villanova.
They certainly have way more history. There's more of a basketball school.
Sure.
They do have Big Ten funding, so they are accustomed to supporting basketball, more than Ole Miss. It could be if it's negotiated. Ole Miss is about as stretched out as much as they can to.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1, go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2, collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3, play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games, all for free?
Step 4, unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Accommodate, with his current NIL. Maryland could promise him more. Yeah. It could be. I think it would, because keep in mind, Maryland's a Big Ten. So SEC's got the most, but the Big Ten's got the second most.
And they got a lot of dollars behind them. Maryland's job this year, again, the AD's on his way out the door. The reports up there that he's going to SMU. So if it happens this year, maybe you don't have a sitting AD this year. If it happened in another year, okay. Well, let's see. I don't know. He's an intriguing coach.
So where's he sniffing?
Well, he was sniffing at Indiana, and now there's nowhere. There's nowhere to sniff this year.
And that was my point. There was no secret. He was kind of he was.
So if you sniff around and you don't get a job, and you go back next year,
Iowa.
then what?
Iowa's always had more commitment to basketball, but I'm not sure that Iowa's a better job. I wouldn't. I think he'd be. I think more suited, as far as a chance to go as far as he can max out. I can listen to an argument that Ole Miss he's got a better job than what Iowa would provide.
What if
Cronin left UCLA? No, you ain't going there. They ain't giving you any money.
And
can't go there.
That's a really hard job now with that travel schedule. I'm sorry. For football, you can hack it for 3 or 4 games. For basketball, man, that's a haul.
Why would you say that? The current coach has no problem with it, huh?
Yeah, he's been real quiet about that. I'll throw you one. What if Oklahoma loses today and Moser gets fired? I think he's going to survive, but what if he got fired? Is that a better job than Ole Miss?
No. He's got more money right now than Moser has.
And
he's got more. We know that he's got more money. No,
but now Oklahoma's with a full year in the SEC. Does that level out?
Oklahoma. Don't you think Oklahoma's overall athletic budget is more than Ole Miss's? I do.
I think it will be, but I don't think it was last year when they were still in the Big 12, when Ole Miss was cashing the big SEC check. Now that they're in the league, I think that it will be, yes. But I'm not sure it was last year when they were in the Big 12. That SEC check was a lot bigger than that Big 12 check. I'd have to check. I'm not positive, but now I think yes that they're in the league.
Their two coaches. And here's part of it where it's part administration and it's part your coach. These two coaches have made sure they're getting as much as pretty much possible. I mean, for Ole Miss to have a bigger player budget than LSU should not happen.
Really nice arena.
Well, so who's doing it? And when I tell people, if Kelly left today, would you want Kiffin? I'm sorry, Kiffin. There's no way that LSU and Ole Miss are on par the last few years. For the foreseeable future, on the field,
they have
recruiting, producing pros. I mean, after 2019, I mean, this should never happen. LSU should never look Ole Miss in the eye. Should never be on their level. And that's part of, Kiffin's hustling more than Kelly.
Yeah.
And so if he's maxing out, swap Kelly. Swap him. Put Kelly at Ole Miss, put Kiffin at LSU. It would be worse.
By
a lot,
yeah.
So when people look at me with, like, I got 7 eyeballs, when I tell them Kiffin, is he not maxing out Ole Miss? Is he not? He's got the highest conference. Is the conference in good shape right now?
As good shape as you could possibly.
He's got the highest conference winning percentage since Johnny Vaught.
Yeah. You know why people look at you funny with that?
Because he's immature and he's got a terrible off the field track record.
I didn't mean about Kiffin. I meant about Ole Miss. They're new money, okay? They haven't always been spending at this level, but they are now.
That's why you give him more respect.
Yeah.
Because he's getting out of them what they've never done before.
And don't you think he's looking for a way out?
Hell yeah.
Okay. The Auburn thing kind of threw me because he didn't seem to really want that. I thought they played footsies a little bit, and he was like, no, thank you. Maybe he didn't want to go into that situation with the Auburn Boosters. I don't know. But I would have thought that Auburn has always been a better job than Ole Miss.
Always. Yes.
But maybe right now it isn't.
No, and look at the track record. I mean, there's certainly less expectations. Okay?
Yeah.
The Auburn has proven that. And right now, would Auburn be giving him that much more than what Ole Miss is providing him?
That's my thing.
I mean, look, who's producing more pros?
Over the last 5 years, it's no question.
Well, as long as Lane Kiffin's been there, he's producing more pros than Auburn
since 2020,
and that shouldn't happen.
Auburn's having a hard time having a winning record right now.
It shouldn't happen. So when you look at me with I have 7 eyeballs, and I tell you Lane Kiffin, who has maxed out? He is the most successful coach at Ole Miss. Is he embracing this new era? He whines about it because he's got to really work. Some of the other places, they just give it to him. It's understood. He's got to hustle. And he's had the most success since Johnny Vaught. And he was pretty good back in the day.
You know who else whined about the system? They didn't call it whining because of who he was, and then he went out and embraced it. Nick Saban. He's like, look, I don't think this is a good idea that we have unlimited transfers. I don't think this is a good idea that we have unlimited NIL. I don't think that all these things are good because all it's going to do is benefit me. I can go out and beat your brains in with these rules. Change them if you want. And for the most part, that's what he did. That's what Kiffin's saying. I don't necessarily like any of these rules, but I'm going to play by them.
Yeah. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, and great message, wrong messenger, Nick. Okay, I mean all this equality and common and level playing field that he pushes for on as a broadcaster. I mean, fine, talk is cheap because you didn't do one thing to try and level the playing field when you were coaching football, not one. So. Anyway, don't forget our friends at Los Reyes. We're out of town today, but, man, when I go over to the Queen and then head on home, always stop at Los Reyes. It's great. The fajitas, the steak fajitas are great, man. The different tacos. You can get the grilled chicken or you get the shredded chicken. They do a great tortilla soup. I always start with that homemade guacamole. Great guacamole, fresh jalapenos on the side, a margarita, house margaritas. Hey, 2:30 to 6:30 is happy hour. House and top shelf margaritas, frozen or on the rocks, are on special over at Los Reyes. So all of the great Mexican favorites, great bar and margaritas, and it's more than affordable. Don't get that sticker shock when you get hit with your bill. When you go to Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's.
Lipscomb, the Bisons. That's one of Randy McKay's first half.
It's with an S?
Bison. Lipscomb fell behind by 6 points, but now they have the lead, 16-15, with 11 minutes to go in the first half.
First half, Bison.
Catching 8.5. Let's see if we can hang on there. Back to wrap it up here from the Beau Rivage, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the Beau Rivage on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, I had it right the first time. It's Bisons.
It's not like North Dakota State.
No, Bisons. And while we were gone, 12-0 run for Iowa State. 27-16 nearing the 8-minute mark in the first half. But we got some time there. About to tip the second half. Alabama and Robert Morris tied, leading by 4, 40-36. They shot 61% in the first half from the floor and lead it by only 4. And Baylor opening up a lead now. Biggest lead of the day is now 9 over Mississippi State. They're about halfway through the second half.
Our favorite cardboard artist, Bubbles Corcoran, also with his releases today. He went 3-2. His favorite pick is Memphis. So his best bet yesterday was Creighton.
Tipping in about 10 minutes.
He's very down on the really down on the Mountain West. Mountain West now has double-digit seeds. 2 more losses yesterday. 24 in a row they have lost as double-digit seeds.
That bandwagon's full for the fade the Mountain West.
Colorado State, though, with a 12 seed, opened up as a favorite over a 5 seed. It's been bet down, but they're still a favorite about 1.5 right now. He likes Ole Miss against the play-in in North Carolina. Akron plus the points. They should get up and down. Both teams like the run. Akron's one of those teams, Charlie, that won their regular season title and also won the conference tournament. Only lost 1 conference game this year.
19-1 if you count the 2 games in the tournament. 17-1
17-1 regular season. Yeah. And then Grand Canyon plus the points as well. Grand Canyon not as good as they were last year, but they do have some tournament experience. They played and won a game in this tournament last year.
Some more new money. they're the definition. They're the poster child for new money.
Yes, they do have new money. Alabama opening up a little bit of a lead here up to 6, 44-38. But again, if you didn't know the seedings, Robert Morris is not acting. Their confidence level aggression is not typical of a number 2 seed. They look very comfortable as they get a steal and a run out here. And, of course, because he couldn't just take the layup, he wanted to try and cup it and windmill it. And so now they will shoot 2 free throws because he allowed the guy to come back and get him.
I always thought when one of those big underdogs was hanging at the half, it was a close game, but they had the first 4 minutes of the second half were so crucial. You get the favorite goes in, they regroup, they make some adjustments, they get mad, they go out and they really kind of assert themselves to begin the second half. If you can weather that as the underdog, a lot of times you're in it for the long haul. Let's see how they do in these first 4 minutes here. They've given up the first 2
buckets.
buckets.
Rush, key to the V playbook?
It's got some similarities to some of that. Yeah, it does. The old philosopher.
Two things with Gordy, huh, man? Good start and, man, senior day.
Yeah.
Distractions.
Senior day, very, very bad.
Yeah, yes. Senior day kind of was a distraction for a lot of college basketball teams their last home game.
I like what the gymnastics teams did. Do it after.
They smoked them, man. Yeah. They were good.
Thanks to Carl Johnson and his great staff here at the Beau Rivage. They always treat us so well here. We loved our last 3 days here at the Beau, and we're looking forward to a lot more days here in Biloxi. From all of us here, Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase